All right, let's get into it. When you're a personality as big as Shaquille O'Neal, you know your house isn't just a house, right? It's a statement. And let me tell you, Shaq's Florida mansion is one of the boldest statements you will ever see. So today, we're going to take a tour of a home that is every bit as larger than life as the man himself.
Just look at this place. I mean, right off the bat, you can tell it's on a whole other level. It's practically its own island, surrounded by water in this super exclusive community near Orlando. Shaq himself called it Casa Diesel, and it's basically a fortress of luxury. Honestly, the sheer scale of it is kind of hard to wrap your head around.
So the big question you're probably asking is, what does a palace like this actually cost? Well, the last time it was on the market, the asking price was a cool $16.5 million. Yeah, just let that number sink in for a minute. And for that kind of money, you are not just buying a house. No way. You're buying a private resort. We are talking 35,550 square feet. To put that into perspective, that's bigger than 15 average American homes all put together. It's just massive.
And you'll never, ever be short on space for guests. The mansion has 12 bedrooms. You could literally host an entire basketball team, bring their families, and still have rooms to spare. It's unbelievable. But this place isn't just big. It's got a real story. It wasn't just built for Shaq. He spent decades making it his own. So let's rewind a little bit and look at the history of this one-of-a-kind estate. So the mansion was actually built back in 1990, but the real story, the Shaq story, kicks off in '93. That's when a young rising star Shaq bought it for just under $4 million. Over the years, he poured millions into making it his own. Then, fast forward to 2018, he puts it on the market for a whopping $28 million. After a few years, the price eventually came down to a more, let's say, reasonable $16.5 million.
Okay, now for the really fun part. The second you step inside, you realize this entire house is basically dominated by one single theme. It's a direct look into Shaq's personal brand and his biggest obsession, his love for Superman. Seriously, as you wander through this massive estate, you start to notice something, a single iconic symbol popping up everywhere, and in some of the most surprising ways. And that symbol, of course, is the S for Superman. And when I say everywhere, I mean everywhere. The S logo is on his giant, custom-made circular bed. It's etched right into the shower door. You'll find it in the movie theater and even way out on the private dock. There is no escaping it. This is Shaq's world. And check this out. This might be the ultimate example of his commitment to the theme. This is the massive 6,000 square foot indoor basketball court, also known as the Shaq Center. And yep, right there on the wall, you've got the Man of Steel's emblem watching over everything. But hold on, Superman isn't the only theme here. Remember the mansion's nickname, Casa Diesel? Well, that points to Shaq's other huge passion, massive diesel trucks. And you better believe he found a way to bring that inside too. And he took this theme to a whole new level. In the family room, he got the crew from the TV show Tanked to build him a custom aquarium inside the front end of an actual diesel truck. I'm talking a real bumper, headlights that actually work. It's the kind of wild, over-the-top feature that is just pure, unfiltered Shaq. Okay, so beyond all the personal touches, this house was built for a world-class athlete. So let's get into the amenities and see how this place is the ultimate paradise for training, relaxing, and entertaining. Just try to imagine a day in the life here. You could start by picking a ride from your 17-car garage, which is really more of a showroom. Then head over to the Shaq Center for a few hours of practice. Cool down with a workout at the outdoor gym right by the lake. And to end the day, just relax in the 1,400 square foot cigar and wine room. It's not a house, it's a self-contained universe of luxury. If you thought the inside was enough, just wait. The backyard is a destination in itself. With a playful nod to a famous resort, Shaq called his backyard retreat Shaqpulco. And boy, does it live up to the name. We're talking a 95-foot-long, 15-foot-deep pool with waterfalls, a jacuzzi, a full grilling area for entertaining, and, of course, a private dock on the lake, which, naturally, features a life-sized Superman statue. It is literally a private resort on almost 4 acres. But here's where the story takes a fascinating turn.
To sell a house this unique, you often have to kind of tone down the personality. So, that shock factor that makes the house so interesting, well, it had to be neutralized for potential buyers.
Let's do a little compare and contrast. Shaq's version had that giant circular Superman bed. The staged version has a regular traditional one. The bright, eccentric decor was replaced with muted, modern colors. Most of the Superman logos were removed. It's a really fascinating look at how real estate markets personality.
So, I gotta ask you, which do you prefer? The full blown, eccentric personality of Shaq's original design? Or the clean, modern look that was created for the sale? So, why would he even sell this personal paradise? Well, according to Shaq himself, the reason is pretty practical. As an analyst for TNT, his work is in Atlanta, and he was just spending way too much time there. Of course, when you're Shock, decisions like this are a little different. Let's just look at the numbers. Nearly $300 million in NBA salary, another $200 million plus in endorsements, and a current net worth around $400 million. So yeah, he can definitely afford to have a dream house in more than one city.
And that's really the key takeaway here. As incredible as this mansion is, it's just one part of a much larger legacy. From his legendary NBA career to his new life in Atlanta and his surprising role as a sheriff's deputy, Shaq is always evolving.
Which kind of leaves us with one final thought. Shaq's home is an unapologetic reflection of who he is, his passions, his history, his brand. So it
As a
makes
luxury realtor and a fan of the game, we're so proud of athletes like Shaquille O'Neal leading the way for future athletes on how to build generational wealth for the family and how to contribute to the community at large and how to be great role models for young people to become the best that they can be in whatever endeavor that they choose. Thank you.